SBR Forum's Punters is brought to you by Bookmaker.
Previewing Week 5 in the NFL here at SBR Forum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak, and right now we are talking with John Ryan from JohnRyanSports.com. It's Monday afternoon. We're going right in with the Thursday night NFL game, Arizona at St. Louis. John, thanks for being here once again.
Thanks for having me as always, Peter.
Man, I know how these players feel now with these quick turnarounds. I mean, it's like I'm just a handicapper, and for me, it's like, damn, Monday we got a Thursday NFL game all of a sudden, right? 4 days away.
Yeah, this is true. It makes it more makes it more interesting, I think, having these Thursday night games. You don't have to wait so long to really get into the nuts and bolts of things.
Yeah, I guess.
So I kind of like it.
I don't know.
Plus,
all
we
right,
don't have to tape up or ice ourselves like the players do. We just kind of read and analyze and go to work.
Yeah. This is a tough one. Arizona at Seattle. Seattle's a 1.5-point home dog. Now, I really liked Seattle last week against the Seahawks, and they did win. And I also liked getting all those points with Miami against Arizona. This game, though, I'm really not sure what to think about it. I mean, Arizona, of course, did get the win. Both these teams are 3-1 against the spread. And it looks like they've got maybe another easy assignment here. Maybe they'll go 5-0 here. I mean, there's a lot of debate about this in our videos at YouTube. There's a lot of people who are saying Arizona is the perception; they're way overrated. But then a lot of the Arizona homers are saying that, basically, if you don't think that Arizona is like a great bet to reach the Super Bowl this year, you're basically a moron. I don't know what to think. I mean, they do have Kevin Cobb, obviously. Some would say he sucks. Some would say he's a little bit better than sucks, but he's obviously not the greatest quarterback in the league. But they do have some very quality receivers, Fitzgerald and then the tight end Hausler. What do you think might be a good play here?
I think it's about 75% on that seesaw. If you have the team sucks on one end and Super Bowl champ on the other end, I think we're about right here, like 75% on the way to the Super Bowl.
Really?
For many reasons, and I'll be brief with these reasons. Arizona proved they could win coming from behind and then winning in overtime this past week. And for this type of team, that is huge. Because Miami had them all but defeated and the game over with. And then Cobb leads that charge back. They get into overtime, basically scoring on the last play of the game, and then win in overtime. So I think that type of win is the win that carries a team for many, many weeks going forward.
Yeah.
St. Louis is not nearly as good as Arizona. Based on one stat I really like, Peter, is the yards per point, which measures the efficiency or lack thereof of an offense or a defense. Right now, Arizona has the best defense in the league by far in terms of yards per point allowed. So that's critical. It takes an opponent 23.4 yards per point. So on average, they have to gain that many yards, which is basically 25% of a football field, to just get 1 point on the scoreboard.
Is that a stat where you would expect, where there's a lot of randomness involved and you expect everything to even out over time, or is it a stat that you find is predictive?
And the cream rises to the top. For example, the top 5 here: Arizona, Houston, Seattle, Baltimore, Atlanta, Tampa Bay, are the top 6 in terms of that stat alone. Of course, as always, you have to use this with a gauntlet of other handicapping tools. But I think for people who are listening and looking to learn a little bit about how you handicap a game, this is an excellent start, especially now that we have 4 weeks in. On the offensive side, Arizona ranks 4th in offensive yards per point. They require only 11.9 yards per point to get a point on the scoreboard, which means they're operating at a very high level. They're executing the red zone. They're not getting field goals in the red zone. They're getting touchdowns, and they're making big plays. And the combination of those two, no other team has, with the exception of Houston. So based on this stat alone, you can immediately see that Arizona is a very real team. And quickly, Peter, I'm going to mention this triangle defense that they apparently have created. And I saw it, yesterday with what they're doing, and that's a very real defense. Let's not forget, they went to New England. Was on the East Coast and defeated them. Then they go to Philadelphia the very next week, which Philadelphia is now proving they're a pretty good team in their own right, wallop them, and then come from behind in a game where they were totally flat against Miami. So I think Arizona wins this game comfortably.
All right. So, yeah, I mean, if everything that you're saying, I mean, if Arizona is quote-unquote for real this year, then 1.5 points here is a gift. I guess just the only thing I would think of is just on a short week like this, St. Louis was home last week. They're going to still be home here. You tend to maybe lean towards the home team, especially as an underdog with this short week, but maybe that's an overrated factor. What do you think?
Well, they did have two weeks at home prior to the New England game, so I think the travel won't be that much of a factor since you're really only going 5/8 of the way across the country from Arizona. I don't think that's a big deal. But if they had to go play the New York Giants, that would be a much difficult travel game than going to St. Louis on a Thursday night.
All right, John Ryan, you've convinced me. I think Arizona -1.5 is my current lean at the moment. Thanks.